Welcome to the third edition of the Canna-Science Digest, sponsored by CVResearch, the makers of Plus CBD. This week we're covering a paper on cannabis for hospice pain, on the many uses of PEA, and then a special review of reviews. First, this paper in hospice patients. Most of them are cancer patients, and the typical treatment for their pain is opioids. Of course, the negatives of opioids are well known, including the adverse effects on cognitive function as well as on the GI tract. So in this study of 66 hospice patients, they started adding medical cannabis to their opioid regimen. They found that this caused a significant reduction in pain intensity as well as a non-significant trend towards lower opioid doses. Only 3 of those patients experienced minor, reversible adverse effects. Overall, this ability of cannabinoids to help with end-of-life pain might be one of the most important functions. To see some of the many studies on cannabinoids and pain, see the pain page I assembled at CVResearch.info with a full archive. Next up is this very well done review of PEA, the endocannabinoid-like molecule produced in all of our brains and all of our body cells, also available in our relief products. PEA is well known for lowering inflammation responses as well as orchestrating precise adjustments in immune responses. They first discovered it in World War II when they were trying to figure out why egg whites made kids not get sick. PEA does many things at the biochemical level, including interacting with our PPAR receptors, which are on the surface of the nucleus and regulate genetic transcription. That seems to be where it does a lot of the help for inflammation. It also raises the level of anandamide, our first discovered endocannabinoid, also called the neurotransmitter of bliss, and interacts with the TRPV1 vanilloid receptors with help with the pain sensation transmission. So this paper covers the many things that PEA has been studied for. Check out this list, though beware, most of this is preclinical and not clinical research. For central nervous system disorders, including spinal cord trauma, ischemia, which is loss of blood flow to the brain, neuroinflammation and anxiety, Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, which is the second most common dementia after Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, that's a case report in a human, acute mania, that's a double-blind trial in humans, also for pain and inflammation, including anti-inflammation, so many studies, pain killing, including post-operative pain, as well as combining well with paracetamol for arthritis, as well as the lung hypersensitivity of asthma. Then for GI disorders, it includes colitis, intestinal inflammation, intestinal injury from radiation, as well as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. For respiratory disorders, that includes acute lung injury, and then also glaucoma, and as a topical for eczema. If you want to see more on PEA, check out the PEA page at CVResearch.info, where I collected, I think, every study ever done on this fascinating molecule. And finally, for our review of reviews, there's so many good review articles this week that I just wanted to cover all of them. You can see them at my Cannabinoids the People newsletter, or also on the CVResearch.info site under the Research Roundup. First, a review on Parkinson's disease that covers 95 different research papers. Then a review on cannabinoids for the many neuromuscular disorders, including some of their most common symptoms, including muscle weakness, pain, spasticity, and tingling or numbness. Cannabinoids for mental health disorders. The use of medical cannabis for mental illness has shown promise in treating anxiety, PTSD, sleep disorders, and substance use disorders. A review of cannabis for headaches. This one's more for healthcare practitioners, but how to thoughtfully integrate cannabis products into chronic pain treatments. One on the therapeutic potential of CBD for opioid use disorder. And finally one looking at the mechanisms of how CBD protects the brain in epilepsy.